live on that as well. And so I'll start up. Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World. And today we are in the library and we are going to have a nice, lovely Saturday morning chatting travel as long as we can because they're out grading the land right by us. And the guys already almost tried to rip out the internet cable a few times. It's a fiber line, so it breaks when they bend it. So let's hope we get a little time together today before things kind of get kaput. So that's why I'm starting a little bit early. I know I said it's still about 8:15, but with the construction people around, you you get what you get. I mean, the guy actually put in our cable yesterday, the new fiber line in yesterday. Ryan, you can watch wherever you want, buddy. I'll answer questions on both sides. For those who don't know, I'm actually this is on YouTube and it's on Amazon. If you want to follow us on Amazon, you can go over there and check that out. We do on Amazon Live, you can show products. We'll talk about that. And there's some videos I have. If you're a vlogger, a travel vlogger looking for products that we use, I talk about them over there. So you have some things there. I'm just listening to this guy working out there. I'm like, if we get 20 minutes of live feed, I'll be happy. Because they were supposed to do this, I mean, a month ago, and now he's randomly showing up on a Saturday morning. I think it's like the guy's side job. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just coming out today. And of course it starts to rain. He's like, well, I don't want to make it a total muddy mess. I'm like, not a total, just a muddy mess. So I had to have a chuckle. This morning. So anyway, sorry everybody. I'm just laughing at how sometimes things are just kind of funny. Hey, Matya from Croatia. Hope you're doing well. Vala for being here. Hey, Habit Master. Good to see you. Heidi Edwards in Cleveland. Hey, for those you wondering, a hidden place in the U.S., honestly, Cleveland, they make the joke, Cleveland rocks. It actually is a really cool place to visit. Really good museums. It's called the Forest City. There's actually a national park just south there between Cleveland and Akron you can go to. Hikes galore. Christmas Story House you can go visit. We actually stayed there. Good food all around. I mean, Cleveland. It's like Cleveland and Kansas City are two cities that do not get the love they deserve for being great cities to visit and to live in. Lucas Gabrielle, thank you very much for loving the videos. I really appreciate it, my friend. For those of you wondering why sometimes I look here and sometimes I look up here, it's because I have two live feeds going. We have one on Amazon and one here on YouTube. So Heidi, yes, Cleveland is amazing. Yes, it is amazing. I was very happy to make my video when I was there. For those who don't know, Cleveland has this place called West Side Market, which is an incredible like European indoor market. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, but they have fantastic food in there. A bunch of the places in there have been on like Food Network and all kinds of stuff. And so we were there and we ate as much as we could, but it was like you can spend a whole day just eating and enjoying your time there. So that was cool. But we were there, it was 3 or 4 weeks ago when there was like the huge rains. And so we went in. And when we went in and it started pouring down rain and we're coming out and it cleared off for a little bit. I'm like, oh, I finally get a chance to make the video, like the don'ts of visiting Cleveland. And so I start filming and then it just is, and I just put the camera, the tripod on the camera underneath the back of the truck. And it just is like, underneath there. And I'm in the rain just getting drenched. I film it all. I'm like, I got to get this. This is too good of a location. And then it's raining all the time anyway. So I finished the video. We ended up driving around some more. We went and saw there's 4 Cleveland signs around town. We went to the one up on, I think, Edgewater Park to get a nice view of the downtown. And so we're up there and it cleared off. And I'm like, oh, I got to refilm that. This is even more pretty and I'm not drenched. So it was a good memory from our time there. So that was fun. Hey, John Burnett from Georgia. Good to have you. Jason Moore from Michigan. Nice. John, we'll have the Don'ts of Georgia coming out. I'm hoping to have it come out either the first Georgia football game or for the Georgia-Florida game. So one of those 2 days, you will have the Don'ts of Georgia coming out. Lucas in Connecticut, we were just there last week. Yeah. My kids did, Liam did camps at New England Science and Sailing in Stonington, Connecticut, and Caleb was at camp at Mystic Seaport. So we were there for about 7-8 days and enjoyed the area. So it was very nice. Deathlock Rocks 14. Good morning. Is it possible to see Lisbon and the Algarve in 3 to 4 days? Pretty simple transportation getting around in Portugal. Um, you could, yeah. I mean, you get in, see Lisbon for a day or two, then you drive down the Algarve in the morning. There's trains that go down there. You can just take the train down. I think it's about 3.5 hours. Stay down there. Lagos is good to stay at. Faro is the big city down there, but I like Lagos better because it's easier to go see the grottos. To take the boat rides and go see the grottos and the beaches. Faro's fine. They've got a small bone chapel there to check out, but it's definitely doable. Hey, Greg, good to have you on, my friend. Good to see you again. Let's see. Yeah, we were supposed to start a little later, so I apologize for the people that are getting on late. Going, what's going on? What's going on? Um, I'm sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments that I'm going to guess get banned from what you see because I'm using StreamYard, and so all of them come through. So there's ones I'm like, I'm sure this got banned from YouTube and didn't show up. Sometimes you got to chuckle at some of them. Ooh, Dino in South Lake Tahoe, California. Very nice, very nice. Oh, my buddy Eric B's on there. Go check out his channel. He's a good dude. Oh, Christian, I'm from Lagos. You have great taste, sir. Christian, I'm glad I could give some love to your town. That's actually one of the places we'd actually go stay when we would go down the Algarve with the kids. That was kind of like our go-to. And we'd be down there. For those of you that were looking to go in the Algarve with public transportation, there's buses that go around. You can hire a taxi. You'll be fine. It's not too bad because there's a lot of tourist stuff to do down there. And there's always nice beaches. And the Portuguese people that are down there are really nice. A lot of English is spoken because there's so many foreigners that retired down there. So you'll be fine. Dawson Jr. in India. Love your videos. Thank you very much. India is a future travel destination for us. So we're hoping it will get here sooner than later. How things have gone with all the fun stuff in the world. Our travel plans have kind of gotten shooken around quite a bit. I remember I always like talking about the house of cards, the house of travel cards. It's like the top row, that's where we're going now. Next row, then down at the bottom, there's lots of opportunities. And then when COVID hit, everything just kind of collapsed in on itself. And now we're just like picking a card. Hey, we wanted to go here. This is the one that's available. So you take kind of like, it's kind of like war when you play war with cards. You take the top cards. Like, well, what can we do? This is the one we can do. And so we go there. So that's why we traveled a lot around the U.S. for the last year. So we've seen a ton of the U.S. We filmed a ton of videos all throughout America in the U.S. And what's cool is we wanted to take the kids around and show them the U.S. For a few years. Like we've done a few small trips to the U.S., but whenever we had big times, we'd go Europe, Africa, Asia, South America, Central America. We would do trips like that. And then this time gave us a chance to really go and explore the U.S. And we actually have gotten the kids to quite a few states during the pandemic. I mean, let me think. Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota. Where else? Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Where else do we go? West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. So that's 18. Oh, then there is Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas. So like 22 states we've gotten them to see. And a lot of those states they hadn't been to before. So it was really kind of nice to be able to show the kids some of America and they got to enjoy it. Because a lot of times I think even I make this mistake. We always, the grass is always green on the other side and think, oh, it's going to be better traveled other places. So you go to other places all the time. And this time it was like, wait, the U.S. really is a gorgeous place to visit. And everyone knows that. But it's nice to really like, yes, this is really amazing. Like going to West Virginia, New River Gorge, and doing the rafting there, and seeing the people there, and eating there, and just having such a good time. Just like, hey, this is going to be really great. Let's see. Claire speaks wisdom. Hoping to go to Scotland in September. We'll see what happens with the thing. Yeah, I mean that's going to be the thing. Is how do governments kind of react to this? Like in the U.S., masks are coming back in a lot of cases. And so it's going to be, you're going to have to still follow the rules, and there'll probably be some more restrictions. So I would expect more testing, more mask wearing. I don't know if they're going to shut down I don't know if they're going to shut down stuff again, but I know for one thing is people are feeling less comfortable to travel. I saw it in our numbers in terms of our views. Because when Europe said we're going to open up to Americans again at the end of April, our May and June numbers were what they were before COVID. Like we actually had like 100,000 views more in June and May of this year than we did in 2019. So it's like, oh, hey, it's coming back. But then once the new variants kind of came into the news cycle, then all of a sudden the views just tanked. Like people are like, no, no. And so I can see that it might not affect people that travel right now because when we're out and about, the places are packed. Like, well, it's as my friend Rob from TripX DC said, it's really case by case basis because some places are just thriving, making more money than ever. Like you go into national parks, you're going to outdoor activities. People are doing those are doing gangbusters. But then the places like the city destinations aren't doing as well because there's just not as many people going out. There's not as many people, just not as many people traveling to these the city destinations. So there is kind of an effect on that. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to fix this. There we go. Because my gimbal is gliding one way or the other. And I'm watching the guy outside work on the dirt, and I'm like, just waiting. I'm just waiting for the signal to drop out. So that's why it's hard for me to focus on our chat when I'm like, we got like 20 minutes before they cut the cable line because they're working out in the yard. So, and even I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, could you be careful with the fiber line? He's like, oh yeah, and then he steps on it and kicks it, and I'm like, I know fiber is pretty strong, but please. Oh, let's see. Christian talking about Lagos. Yeah, Lagos to Sagres is always great for going to nice beaches and outdoor activities. Really, really agree. Michael asks, do you ever have plans of visiting Ethiopia? Yes, that is on Jocelyn's list of definite next places to go. Original 2022 plans before, no, wait, 2021? Yeah, 2021? No, 2020 plan. God, my brain is going crazy. So one of our trips for 2020, when we do our big like 10-week travel, was to spend a couple weeks actually in Ethiopia. That's one of Jocelyn's big places she really wants to go. So that was actually on our list. Now it's another one of those things where things are up in the air. I know for the rest of this year, we're doing mostly domestic travel. I have a trip to France and a trip to Ireland scheduled. So hopefully we'll get to do those. But most of the stuff is going to be U.S. based for the rest of the year, and then we'll see how things are because you just have to see how things roll. You got to be flexible. I do like how it's going to be some airlines to become very flexible with what they're letting you do. Like, hey, I got to cancel. We'll just give you the credit. Don't worry about it. I mean, I'll probably have to cancel some trips, I'm sure, that I've booked out because when the tickets were great, I actually booked a bunch of stuff for the rest of the year. Like, hey, saying like, look, if we could go, great. If not, well, I didn't spend a lot of money and I can get it as credit on for another flight because I know we'll be going there soon. So we have that. Maria, family member traveling to Croatia. Any tips? Tell them to take water shoes because a lot of the beaches are stony beaches. So you're going to go for the beach stuff. It can be a little uncomfortable if you don't have good shoes and like your flip flops and stuff don't work as well on there because you slip a lot. So I would definitely get water shoes for everybody from little kids to grandma. Definitely have that. Let's see. Scott Bradley. Correct. Americans come to England here from 4 a.m. this Monday without quarantine after 2 jabs. Yeah, 2 jabs, and don't you have to have a negative test as well? So that is cool. That's one of those things. It's funny, all these places are opening up, and since we have to plan ahead of time because I have to work on my scripts and do my research and get things ready, we book 5-6 months in advance, sometimes longer for bigger trips. And so getting for this summer is like, no, we made all this USA stuff. We just came back from a 3.5-week trip around the US. And I was like, oh, we could have gone to Europe. We could have gone here. But I was like, look, it's already planned. Let's do it. We had a great time. So I'm not complaining about that. But it's like, oh, now these places are opening up. And I'm seeing people going, I'm going to Greece for a month. I'm going here. I'm like, oh, I wish we were. But we had a fantastic time in the U.S. and we do have some trips coming up. So hopefully things will stay open and we can enjoy ourselves then. So Michael, traveling the world. I'm going to Boston next week. Great to help out their economy since they're not doing well. Yeah, that's the thing is everywhere you go when you travel, you really are making a difference in terms of at the economic impact. You're helping people with jobs. You're helping keep people in work, and that's really cool. And it is awesome that we're being able to help because a lot of these industries have been wiped out. And I know there's been government assistance, but a lot of it's not enough. So to get people back on their feet, but also to get businesses going again, so then they can hire people, and then the old economic, how things work. Oh yeah, this guy. So they've got a bulldozer in my yard right now. Like not a bulldozer, a little tiny one. And did you see the lightning just went? I'm like, he's like, well, if it gets muddy, I don't want to make a total mud mess. I'm like, yeah, please don't. It's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a morning. It's gonna be a morning here. I'm so, just like, I hope we get like at least 30 minutes of live before this thing crashes out. Let's see. I'll go to an Amazon question. So, Ryan from Amazon, how are things faring where you are? Mask mandate has returned here to Kansas City, at least for August. Right now, I'm in Illinois, and I know my day job, we have to be fully masked starting yesterday, inside, outside, regardless of vaccination status. So I didn't realize that was going to effect yesterday. So we were going, and we usually drive we have a Jeep that we don't really drive very often. It's the second car, and when I'm working and the kids had school, and so we had to separate. We finally broke down, got a second one, but the Jeep was for that, and so it's just been sitting there. And I mean, it's been sitting there for a while, and there was no masks in there. So we were going to the grocery store. I'm like, we got no masks. So Jimmy John's it is. So we went through the drive-through for dinner instead of going in to get some food to actually, cook dinner. Because one thing is, after you've been traveling for like 4 weeks, you're like, I just want a sit down like meal, like a real meal. Like right now, I would love just to make some waffles, but I'm like, the house is such a mess. I'm like, we're good. We're good. So yeah, let's see. Heidi asks, where are you going next? So our next adventure, actually, we're going to see my nephew who has his second birthday party today. That's across the states. That's an adventure. And I think that's one thing is people don't realize you can have an adventure nearby. I mean, there's Casey, Illinois is about, let's see if I can get this up a little higher, is about, I don't know, hour and a half from here, 2 hours from where I live. And they have the Guinness World Record for having the most number of large world record pieces of furniture or whatever in the world. So like, oh, that would be kind of a fun day trip to go down there. But no, I got my next real trip. I'll be in Nashville. Be in Nashville filming there, and I'll be there for a conference actually as well. So I'll be learning and filming. So that's always a good thing. And then after that, it's France. And then after that, I think is Louisville, Kentucky. I think that's the next one. I don't have my schedule in front of me. It gets a little crazy sometimes when we look at it. I know my fall is. I got a little over ambitious with my fall traveling. Let's just say, because I'm like, yeah, we can travel again and fly and all that fun stuff, and we always could fly. And thank you to all the flight attendants and pilots and all the airlines that kept going during all this. Thank you for that. Delta actually, they're extending their miles. Like 2021, you got to keep everything or 2020, you got to keep everything from 2019. Well, they're doing that, and it's going to go through 2023. So if you had up status you're going into 2020, they let you keep that going, and the MQMs. And if you actually were flying during the pandemic, you get like a status upgrade, or you get a status while you're flying this year. They're actually going to let you get the upgrades first over other people at your same medallion status. So it's kind of like a reward for the people that were actually keep flying, which is interesting because a friend of mine was actually flying on a Delta flight, and this guy, I mean, he never stopped flying. The dude flies. I mean, he was like, he's, I don't know, 4 or 5 million miler club guy. And he's just like, he's in Australia 1 week. Well, not now, but he's in Thailand a week. Pre-COVID, he'd be like Australia a week, come back home, then fly to Thailand. His work wouldn't let him go straight there. And then he'd go to Chile, and the guy is just all over the place. And so one time he was on a flight with the president of Delta. And he was like, hey, he's like, yeah. And so they were talking. He's like, and the president of Delta, he said the guy was super nice. He's like, look, he thanked me for flying and keep flying. My buddy says, like, look, there's those that said never stop flying. Don't forget about us. So it's kind of like, I think I'm going to give my buddy Chris the love for that he got it. So people that have been flying get a little extra love, because I know it's been kind of a scary thing for a lot of people. But thanks for that. Let's see. Stephen Walters. Oh, you almost spelled your last name right, Stephen. Good morning. Just got back from a Michigan to Yellowstone Grand Teton trip. We did that last fall. It was awesome. Your advice was really helpful. The crowds were insane, though, and I advise anyone planning a trip to that destination. Yeah, any national park you are going to, expect it to be insane, and especially even till now. I know last year when we were in Yellowstone, we were there in September, and they were saying like we're in September, but we're having July numbers. July's their busiest season, and they're like, look, it's been crazy because people are going there all the time. So if you're going to go to a national park, extra patience. Whenever you see a possible parking spot, just park there and walk a little bit farther because finding parking at the national parks can be a bit complicated. Let's say. Um, Also, don't forget to get the America the Beautiful pass, $80, and you got for 1 year. You can go all the national park stuff. It's great. So I have to pay every time if you're going to visit, if you're a family and you're going to go visit, three national parks, pays for itself. So if you're going to Grand Tetons, Yellowstone, you pretty much covered it almost. Then you just have one thing you just show and just drive by, so it's nice. Let's see. Good morning, Mark Finley. Good morning, Kathy Walters. So we started, for those of you who just got on, because we said we'd start later today. The reason why I started earlier is because they are actually outside with a mini earth mover moving things around right by where they just installed our fiber internet. So I was so happy to have like really good internet finally. And he's going to run over it and break it. And so I figured let's at least get something filmed in time. So if I seem concerned while I'm filming, or the line breaks all of a sudden, you know what it is. Wow, like I can feel the house shaking. Like, dude. Anyway, ah, oh, Global Nico. You can check out my buddy Nick Barnett, Global Nico, on YouTube, and he's also on Instagram as well. Saw him up in Albany. He's a good dude. If you have questions about going to Greece, Nick is a great person to ask about going to Greece. Let's see. I'm always worried about any viruses that are spreading, my friend. Al Bafa, Mark, ever been to Sicily? Yes, we have. Well, I have. I went there with my parents. I know it's probably been 15 years ago. It was a nice time. It's a different Italian experience than if you're going to mainland Italy, because you don't have the Roman ruins so much there. You have some Greek temples. There's a Valley of Temples that are Greek temples, because the Romans had Sicily as more like a breadbasket for farming, whereas so there's more farm stuff there, not the Colosseum kind of things. I like the square in Syracuse. I love the square there. I just find it gorgeous at night. Palermo's got some fun stuff to do on the west side of the island. There's a city that's on top of a rock that was really cool. I got to look at a map because I keep name blanking on what the heck it's called. But that is kind of a cool thing. Eric Svart, good to see you, buddy. Good to have you back. So Kathy is headed out to Southern Oregon next week. Very nice. Stopping to see Bryce Canyon and Zion in Utah. And that's seen a short period of time. If you don't have a lot of time, Bryce and Zion, especially Zion, will take up a lot of time itself. So I would just focus on those. Look at any activities that might be going on by private outfitters, either in the parks or outside the parks, because sometimes there's more adventure kind of things to do right outside the park, Kathy. So if you're looking for things to do, a little more adventuresome. Oh, Global Nico is back in Greece. Lucky guy, lucky guy. Nick's now he's in the back where the cord goes in. I'm just it's never good when you hear house creak, and I'm like, oh man. Anyway, so Nick says extremely hot in Greece right now, even more than usual. So be prepared. Anyone's coming to Greece, because I know a lot of people are going to Greece because they opened up earlier. So be ready for that. I'm going to turn a light on because I don't have all my equipment out because we were traveling. So I'd taken some of our stuff with us so I could film while we were abroad while we were abroad in other states. I have not got things unpacked yet, so I don't have everything ready. So I apologize for that. All right. So, hey, Mark, just a quick question. I'm planning a road trip from Maryland up to Pennsylvania for next year with a few friends. Just wonder if there's any places we absolutely have to see. Okay. Where are you going from in Maryland to Pennsylvania? Because they're right by each other. Um, I know. Well, you have like Lancaster with the Amish country in Pennsylvania, which is I don't know 45 minutes to an hour west of Philadelphia, which is must. Pittsburgh is another underrated city when you're there. Um, yeah, it depends where you're going up in there. Maryland, for people that haven't been to Maryland, most of the time when people think of Maryland, they think of like Baltimore, like, oh, it's crab cakes and the coast, right? Well, the thing is, you have all of Western Maryland, which is these mountainous region that's just gorgeous. We were actually in Frostburg, Maryland the other day, and went to Frostburg Free or Frosty Free Frostburg Freezy thing. It was like an outdoor little ice cream place. Best soft serve ice cream I've ever had in my life was there. It was incredible in Frostburg, Maryland. So, Quincy Kaufman, when are you in Europe? Coming back to the U.S., where do you get your test, or do they do it at the airport? So that all depends where you're flying out of. What I would do is try to like search around before you go, like where you're going to be the last few days before you fly back to find testing locations. And so you can get tested and do that. If you contact your airline, they should be able to give you some better advice than I can. When I'm going to France, I will be going through all that, and I will make a video to explain to people how the process is and what you get and all those things. So we can be better, because I haven't been to Europe since this happened. So I've heard what people have said was happening, and I've heard multiple different ones, and people kind of avoid talking about it, which is like just to help us out. So I will be making a video about it, just so you know. Okay. Oh, Adam. Oh, yeah, Adam. I'm not sure yet. Just I'm from Ireland, so it's all completely foreign to me. Okay, so Adam, go on Facebook, direct message us at Walter's World. It's at facebook.com/Walter's World. Go there, send me a direct message, and I can give you a little bit more in-depth kind of stuff for what to look out for. Since you're coming from Ireland and going to do the trip, like give me some ideas where you're flying in and out of and your time frame, and then I can give you some ideas there, my friend. Tattoo D from Miami, good to see you. Yes, I agree. A video would help. That's why I want to do this. Oh, is Sahil in here? Hey, Sahil. Sahil's a good buddy of mine. He's been with us for a while. Wow, 47 Celsius in Greece. Woo! Let's see, 47 Celsius in Fahrenheit, 116. Wow, that's hot. That is hot. Rodney Dove, good to see you. So I think I found when I do these live feeds, when we just kind of chat for a while, it goes well. But sometimes I think people want to actually learn a little bit too along the way. So I want to kind of give you, for the next few minutes, I'm actually going to go through a few things on some things to look out for when you're traveling these days, whether it's domestically or internationally, because the numbers in a lot of places have really started to come back. And now it's starting to slide again because of restrictions. People are getting worried. But for the last couple of months, travel has been back in gangbusters. Flight numbers are almost back to where they were, and like we said, in the national parks, it's been crazy. So there is a lot going on. I just want to kind of give you a few heads up before you get going. One, the reservations of bookings, not just for hotels, but for museums and restaurants, are going to be really vital. Even if there's not restrictions in terms of capacity restrictions, some places are still keeping it smart. Like we were in Mystic, Connecticut, and we had to go and buy a time ticket for the aquarium, even though there's plenty of room. They're like, no, we have time tickets. So though all the people that came early have left, we've only had to sell certain many per day. So any place you want to go, any museum you want to go to, any park you want to go to, anything, check out. Like if you're going to be in Vegas, if you're going to go to Red Rocks Canyon, they have a certain number of spots per day and at certain times. So you want to book ahead to make sure you have that. And reservations, if you're near any national park or any popular outdoor destination, those hotels, bed and breakfasts, Airbnbs, are booked out. Or if you've seen in places, the prices have just gotten insanely high with them as well. So do be careful with that, because you can be, oh, I don't have a place to stay. I mean, we were in the Berkshires in Western Massachusetts, and we had to stay a night in Albany because there was literally nothing in Western Pennsylvania for that Saturday night. So just want you to be prepared for it. Also, I think when you are going to different places, also bring a ton of patience, because people are losing their minds. I mean, we talked to people on our trip, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I had to break up a fight on the Southwest flight. Yeah, I had to stop these people from going out into this park." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." For some reason, people have lost their humanity a little bit, it seems like, when they started traveling again. So have patience, because you may be upset, but what we don't realize is, if you get banned from Delta, if you get banned from United, there's not like there's tons of airlines that fly to Europe that'll take you, or to Asia or South America. There's not a ton of airlines out there, because if you're banned from Delta, you might get banned from other airlines too, like their code share people like KLM or Air France. I mean, you got to be careful with that. And I know in the heat of the moment, people don't think that way, but you just people got to chill. And that's why having patience, giving yourself more time, realizing that things will not be what they were, even if we've all been cooped up. And if we spend a lot of money for these things, it doesn't matter. And that's another thing, is service. Do not expect good service anywhere right now. I mean, people are happy. Tourists are coming back. But one thing I would say is, though they're happy, the people are coming back, there's so many more people coming, and they don't have enough servers. There's not enough hostesses. Every place I've gone to, I'm not kidding, every single restaurant and every single store I've gone to over the last 8 months of traveling around the U.S. has had a "we're hiring" sign, the help wanted sign. And I've seen places that we close early because we don't have enough workers. So, for example, we were out in West Virginia, and we were out in New England, and all these places, like, you look on Google, like, oh, they're open till 10. Like, no, we're closing at 8 because we don't have enough workers. So be ready for that, and just have patience, because it's gonna be a tough one. Okay. Now, other things I think you need to think about when it comes to like rental properties. I know Airbnb is getting some bad press lately because of the insane cleaning fees that people are charging, because the cleaning fees go to the host, not to Airbnb. And the thing is you really need to make sure is, when you are looking to book, do not trust the price it says. When it says, oh, it's $149 a night. That's the price. It's kind of like when you buy stuff in the US, there's always the taxes and all these other things added on and fees. Airbnbs, I mean, I've had places, we were in Key West. We stayed for 3 nights. It was a $300 cleaning fee. And when we went to the place, it was a super host. Okay. And the only thing super about them is that they had an extra roll of toilet paper. I mean, that was it. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I've actually talked to some former super hosts, and they're like, look, so as the Airbnb host, they're like, look, Superhost used to mean something. It doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just they got enough people to give them 5-star reviews. And when you're worried that someone's going to give you a bad review, so if you can't stay there, you have overinflated ratings of places. So that's why it's really important to read the reviews of the place you're going to go, because it might be a 5-star review, but they might mention some things. And we learned this a few years ago when we were in Mystic, this place we stayed at, and the reviews, they were Superhosts. And they had 5 stars all over. There's like a 4.9 rating. I was, good rating, good location. But everyone was like, oh yeah, very attentive, always there for you. I mean, it was like very attentive, always there for you. What was the other one? It was like on top of things. The thing was, it's like they were looking in the windows at us. Like they were like, oh, we were watching you play baseball with your kid in the backyard. Oh, you were working at your desk and you're working at the desk there, and you were smoking in the house. And I'm like, I was working the desk, but I've never smoked in my entire life. Yes, we were there. We were watching you. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, one, never have I smoked in my entire life. Never, ever. Okay. So that really kind of irked me. And I'm like, and they were just, I'm like, it made me go through the house to see if they had the cameras in there too. But I'm like, we didn't smoke inside. I don't smoke. So it doesn't, it was just really weird how they were. And then it's kind of like I read the reviews again. It's like people are kind of warning you. Yeah, they're overly attentive. I mean, you gotta really read through these things. Okay. So make sure you're there, and don't always think that the Superhost things really is something special. I think another issue we really need to think about is, realize masks are going to be required wherever you are. If you're going to be going to Europe or you're going to be going abroad, I would not just go with cheap masks. I would get like N95s, K95s. Get the ones that are like the official, like these are accepted in places because some countries you can't go into places with a cloth mask. You have to actually have a medical mask, which are still sometimes hard to find. Okay, so if you're on our Amazon page, if you go to Amazon.com /shop/Walter's World. Sorry, I'm scrolling for those watching on Amazon. Didn't let me put them in there. Dang it. If you go on there and you look into our travel gear playlist of products, they have the KN95s there. So I actually ordered another set of 20. So because I got stuff coming up. Oh, hello there, our first super chat of the day. Thank you very much, Laura C. Laura asks, hi, Mark. My family loves your channel. Thank you very much. Hopefully headed to Iceland with our kids, ages 17 and 12 next week. Is the Blue Lagoon worth it? Yes, it is. As touristy it is and how busy it can get, it is still worth it. Wiping the mud on yourself and going in there is really cool. I don't know if you're going to be going. There's another really good hot spot in the northeast of the country that's worth going to. We actually enjoyed that better because there's fewer tourists there. But if you're not driving all the way up there, I mean, it could be, if you go the south route and the east route, it could be a really scary drive. But if you're going the north route, it's not as bad. It feels like you're driving on Mars. That's a good place to go. But yeah, no, the Blue Lagoon is definitely worth it. I won't lie to you. There's reasons why. There used to be like I don't know if there still is because with COVID and everything, but Iceland Air, they would have flights that you come in and you could actually schedule a thing where they pick you up, take you to the Blue Lagoon, so you have a couple hours there, and then go back to get your flight, your connecting flight. So it is worth it. Mark Finley has a filming question. Have mask mandates affect filming for the channel? You seem to do more outdoor recaps anyway, so it might not for you. I was hoping to start doing more on-site filming for our channel. Yeah, so one thing is filming indoors can lead to issues because some places don't let you film indoors, and so I always film outside unless I know I can film inside. Like my sitting there and talking stuff, like B-roll, where I'm just doing getting some background video and stuff. That I don't really matter about that. I still film that inside. You'll see in our videos, you'll see, we're in museums where you'll see Liam and Caleb and Jocelyn walk around with their masks. Those will pop up. But for like my standing and talking to the video stuff like this, I'm always outside so I can be mask free, because if I'm filming like this, it makes it more difficult to understand. And we have a lot of people that watch that aren't native speakers. And so hearing is one thing, but hearing and seeing the lips helps even more. So I really try to do that. So. Global Nico, I'd love to go to Iceland, especially in summer. Heard it's only like 13 Celsius even in July. I miss how that temperature feels. Yeah, no, we were wearing late fall clothes during our trip to Iceland all the time. Though the midnight sun made it interesting because we were there. I mean, it's been like 6 years. So Liam was like 4. And Liam, because we would tell Liam it was time to go to bed because the sun's down. And so we're trying to go to sleep, and Liam's up like, la, 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 la. We're like, Liam, go to bed. He's like, no, look. And he like pulled the blinds back. He's like, the sun is still out, so I'm not going to bed. I'm like, oh, you little pooper. So, yeah, that was a tough one, getting him to go to bed when we were in Iceland, but it's a cool place to go. Patricia Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. That is awesome of you. Enjoy the travel information you provide. So needed when you're new to traveling. Thanks. That is awesome to hear, Patricia. That's actually what I really wanted to do. When we started this channel years ago, I wanted to help normal people travel and people that weren't like, I'm not a travel agent. I'm not a travel whatever. I just want to go and see the world. I want to go explore more. And I wanted to help people out with that because I found that some of the blogs and some of the vlogs that were out there at the time really weren't helping people know how to travel. It was them showing, here's me traveling. Look at me doing the backflips. Look at me going up the Eiffel Tower. But how do I do these things? How do I arrange my trips? What do I need to look out for? How do I get to know the people? And so we really try to focus on that to help everybody travel better. And so Patricia, thank you so much. The super chat means the world to me, but even more is that we could help you all travel. And so that's really, really awesome. So thank you for that. Let's see. Oh, Heidi, Ireland will be there, my friend. You will get there and you will love it. You will love it. Using a midlife. Patricia, I watched a ton of their stuff before my first international trip too. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. Oh, then Alan, after all saying how much we want to go to Ireland, he's like, yeah, what's up, man? I'm in Ireland. Boom. Alan, mic drops us right there. So, Michael Trello, do you know Drew Bensky's Airbnb tip to email the host and ask for a cheaper price? Yeah, because the thing is what you don't realize is those rentals, if their Airbnb is taking like 30%. It's kind of like if you book through TripAdvisor or any site, they're taking 20, 30%, 15%, whatever. So if you really want to help out the mom and pop hotel or the Airbnb or the host or whatever, booking directly, they keep all the money. Well, I mean, the taxes go up, but they keep all the money and they are okay. Because, I mean, if you look at, especially who gets hurt the most are actually travel guides, like tour guides. If you're going to go to DC, I mean, if you want to get a tour in DC, you can go to Via Tour and that'll give you a bunch of options. I mean, the thing is, you have these places that will show you the option, so it's good that way. But maybe you find it on Via Tour, you can book through them, but know that if you pay $100, that guide is getting like 50 of it and not 100 of it. And even though if you go to their website, it might still be $100 there. Sometimes it's better to book. Honestly, it's probably better to book directly most of the times. Well, depends on the situation, but if you want to make sure you're helping out that guide the most, booking directly from them does actually get them more money than going through a third party, because third party always got to get their money. Always got to get their money. So something to think about. And also, when you're using third parties with tours, this is one that I've been asked to bring up a few times, is if you're going through like I don't know if it's TripAdvisor or one of these sites that kind of collects them all, is they may say, oh, this tour is run Monday through Sunday or what? Monday through Sunday. Yeah, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, every day, no matter what. But you as a tour company might be like, no, we only work on the weekends, but people will give you the bad review because, oh, they weren't open on Tuesdays. Like, yeah, we're not open on Tuesdays, but the TripAdvisor, the Via Tour said it was. So I've actually talked to guides who had trips that were booked with them when they're not working. They say they're not working, and they had to write them back saying, I'm sorry, this tour is canceled. We do not run tours on this date. And they then got bad reviews because they canceled when it wasn't their fault. So that is one of those things there. Beth Gaynor, thank you so much for the super chat. It means the world to us. Let's see what Beth has to say. We love watching your channel. Thanks for all the great travel advice. Heading to Barcelona soon. Awesome. Have fun when you're there. Do me a favor. Go to the El Born district, like El and then like you're born. El Born district. It's right by the Barrio Gothico, the Gothic neighborhood. And go drink cava. That's the Spanish champagne, the bubbly wine. Have that and the pinchos, which are like, it's the tapas you have in Barcelona, but they're called pinchos, like stuff on bread. It's awesome. Thanks, Beth. Oh, I'm jealous you're going there. You're going to have so much fun. I'm hoping to take students to Spain next year for a group trip. Fingers crossed, but we'll see if it works out, because our school where I teach, they're saying they may let study abroad happen next May for short-term trips, little trips. So I'm trying to get it set up so I can go teach a class abroad. So I want to spend 4 weeks in Spain because it's going to be one country, because usually I'll take students to multiple countries, but with restrictions and testing and visas, it's like, you know what, we'll just do one. And Spain has enough stuff, so I think we'll do like a Barcelona and Valencia, maybe like Madrid and Segovia or Sevilla. I don't know. We'll see what we're going to do, but yeah. So it's going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. You have fun in Barcelona, Beth. Oh, Liz from Means from Travels on here. We'll be with her soon. Liz, I still need to get you those pictures. But unfortunately, the bank was closed yesterday and it's closed this morning, so I can't get my hard drives that I put away. So I'm going to have Jocelyn, because she has like all the old stuff on her phone. So I'll get her to send some things to you so you can get some multi-generational travel. Because we will be having a video on means to travel on her channel about multi-generational travel. And I have a few notes here to get you a little taste of some of the stuff we're going to talk about, because it was a pretty long conversation. So we went through all kinds of stuff. So it'll be a good video. So means to travel, go and subscribe to Elizabeth's channel. Derek, her husband, he's like a supermodel or something. He posted this really great picture the other day wearing this fantastic outfit. He was wearing a Walter's World shirt. So you always look good in a Walter's World shirt. Mine are all dirty. So I have my Bite Me buffalo wings from the Anchor. So those going to Buffalo, sorry. I'm just trying to read the mash and toss thing real quick. Hold on. And if you go to Buffalo, the original Anchor has better sauce. Duff's has better fried wings. If you could put Anchor sauce with Duff's wings, it'd be perfect. But both are great. Both are great. Anyway, mash and Tyler, thanks for the super chat. Let's see what we have here. I'm so glad I listened to you about traveling when in school. Girlfriend and I backpacked Europe, went to Egypt and Russia, now an accountant with 15 vacay days. Yeah, that's one of the things. Whenever you get the opportunity, go, go, go. Because it's weird. You have a lot of time when you're young. You have a lot of time when you're old. But in the middle here, it's hard to get the time because you got kids, you got work. Yeah, and matching Tyler's your 15 vacation days. You're the exact kind of like you are my friends that really inspired me to get Walter's World going. Because I remember I got the equivalent of a AAA guidebook in Italy, but it was like the Italian AA or whatever. And I got their guidebook and I was reading about this town in Veneto. I'm like, wow, this place sounds fantastic. And I ended up going there and the place sucked. And I'm like, the museum was closed, the palazzo was under reconstruction, the square was a parking lot. I'm like, this sucks. And I got upset not for me. I got upset for my friends who had 10 days of vacation and maybe they get to go to Europe once in their life and they get a guidebook that makes this place sound fantastic when it's really kind of a dump or it's not that great. And I'm like, this isn't right. This isn't right. I got to do something. That's where actually the 5 Love and Hates videos came from. And there was that. And then there was a Lonely Planet Portugal book from the early 2000s, which was just straight dog crap. Okay. Not all of it, but I think it was the main person writing was in love with Lux, this club in Lisbon, which is a great club. Don't get me wrong. It was a great club, but she would bring it up all the time. And I'm like, look, you need to separate, like Lux is a club in Lisbon. It has nothing to do with other parts of the country. Stop bringing it up. And it just kind of like, it felt like she got paid to talk well about this place. I'm sure she didn't because the Lonely Planet doesn't do that. But it was one of those things. I'm like, look, we need independent, unbiased. Like this is my experience. This is what happened to me. I'm not gonna overinflate places because I want people that only have 15 vacation days. I don't want one of those days gone because you got 15 vacation days. You figure you've got say we'll go to the day after Thanksgiving. You got to stay away. So there's one day, and then you want to go home for the holidays. So there's a couple days there. Then you've got at least 1 or 2 weddings. Those are gone. So you're down to 10 vacation days. And those 10 vacation days, every day wasted because of a bad online review or a bad blog or something like that is you lose one. That's 10% of your vacation wasted. I can't do that to people. So that's why I go there. Heatherman, any tips for solo female travelers? If Jocelyn down here, she'd give you a bunch of stuff. She actually, there's one, if you look up solo female travel safety tips for Walter's World, Jocelyn has really good safety tips on there for there. I think one of the things that's important for you is if you're going by yourself, a lot of people are like too scared to go by themselves. Sometimes it's actually better than being in a group to go solo travel because you have more options out there. And I think around the world, it's become easier and less dangerous for solo female travelers. Now, I'm not going to say it's not dangerous because there are places that, if I had a daughter, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I should go. But there's places I'm like, yeah, go. I don't care. People are like scared about it. I'm like, no, that'd be fine. So Heather, I would check out that video on there. Also, if you write to us on Walter's World, go to facebook.com/Walter's World, send us a direct message, and Jocelyn will give you a bunch of stuff right there because I'd rather have her do it because she gets very passionate about it and she shares and she can do more. And if you have any place you're going to go, let us know so we can have like more like tailored specific kind of stuff. Later, Nick. Thank you for being on here. The Swedish Traveler. Thank you very much, my friend. Tuck. I'm saving up money for traveling the world. Yep. And that's what you got to do. You got to save. It's not free. As many of those travel guru things say, oh, look at me. I travel the world for free. See how I do it. Well, yes, I have this venture card that, gives me free points. I'm like, yeah, after you spend like $3,000 in the first 3 months and you have to do that with another card. So you're like, actually, you get all the free flights, but you have to have spent $7,000 to get all this stuff. That's why sometimes I get upset with some of the other bloggers and vloggers that are out there when they're not put in a realistic way. They have gotten better. I mean, before it was just all clickbait stuff, but now it's at least a bit better that they're like, hey, look, here's some of the issues you have to do. Here's what you have to spend to get this, but if you're going to spend it anyway, you're going to have to pay your bills anyway, get this card or sign up for this. And there are things you can do that don't have, required spending limits or something to get free stuff. Like, oh, we're going to give you the miles anyway. You sign up for pretty much any airline credit card, their bonus is basically a free domestic flight with the number of miles they give you. So some things you can do. But Swedish Traveler, I look forward to seeing you travel the world, my friend. Kathy Walters, a wonderful woman, fantastic woman, probably the best Best mom out there. Travel when you can and often because you never know how life will change between time, health, and financial resources. This is very true. We've had friends of ours who were all excited about traveling during retirement. Pancreatic cancer was gone in 6 months. You know, you're planning on doing something. You break a leg, kid gets sick. You lose your job. I mean, if you get the chance, that's why I say go and enjoy it. And that's why I love making our videos, because for me, I can go back and watch the videos. And it's like I'm reliving our old trips. That's why I'm always like, look, people write like, I'm thinking about starting a travel channel. Like, do start it, and don't try to make it for anyone else. Make it for you, since videos you want to watch again, because then you'll watch it. Don't think of it as a job. Think of it as a way to relive your travels. I mean, that's one thing that's helped me get through the pandemic. I mean, one, we've been blessed to be able to travel around the U.S., but forget my international gig is making some of our international videos and uploading those and editing those. It's like, oh yeah, I remember those beaches in Turks and Caicos. That was so nice to relax on, but so boring, but so nice to relax on. So you have kind of a fun time with that. Hi, Liam. Liam is up and at him. Let's hit the road, Jack. Rick Steves likes to say that Americans have the shortest paid vacation time in the world. Well, there's some places that only have paid vacation. So if you compare it to, Eastern Europe, or sorry, if you compare it to Europe and some other places, yes. But if you're looking at, South America or other places around the world, it's not everywhere like that. But yes, if you're looking at Europe, we are way, way behind the vacation time. HA, have you been to Istanbul or Pakistan? Istanbul, we were supposed to go there last summer. Obviously, that didn't happen. Pakistan, I have coworkers over there, so we're going to go there eventually with them to get shown around and have a good old time. They're all excited to take us. That's nice. Let's see. Oh, dang it. So for those who don't know, I actually get a different feed than you do, and mine's jumping around everywhere, so I'm sorry. Larry Barrett, thank you very much for the super sticker. Obviously, the super sticker that you see here isn't there, but thank you for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody's enjoying whatever that super sticker is, because I'm using StreamYard for this, so I can't actually see the things. I love technology. It's fantastic. Tim OL, thank you very much. It doesn't show me what you said, so I'll see if I can find a question. Oh. Tim says, as a captain with a U.S. legacy airline, I appreciate your accurate advice for our passengers, which makes our days easier. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Tim. I'm getting goosebumps. That's awesome to hear that the professionals in the industry notice what we're doing. I know I've tried to we've have some for how to annoy people. It's like how not to annoy people on an airline to cut down on the fights. We've got one what flight attendants really want you to know to try to help out there. I was hoping that one would go viral. I mean, I think it's got a couple 100,000 views. I'll look real quick. But I was really hoping that that one would go viral and people be better. And the thing was, hold on. I'm going to look this up real quick. Let's see if it's good. Let's see. What flight attendants want you to know, 350,000 views, which is a nice number. But I was hoping that would be a bigger one, because the flight attendants take so much crap, and it gets, the stories these days of them getting hit, punched, kicked, screamed at, spit on, treated like garbage. Well, those people are trying to save your life. If something goes wrong, they're gonna help you. And it's just, it hurts to know that there's people out there that are helping and people are being jerks to them. And the pilots are out there, the captains and co-pilots and everybody, thank you for all of your service. It means the world to us, because we couldn't travel without you. I know that. I can swim, but I don't know if I can swim the Atlantic. I'm not quite in that good of shape anymore. But thank you, Tim. That's really awesome, man. Thank you so much. Let's see. Trish, yes, getting that passport together. Awesome. So here's an example. I hit the road, Jag. I just signed up for the Chase Sapphire Preferred. You have to spend $4,000 in 3 months, but I use it for money I'm spending anyway. 100,000 points worth $1,250. See, that's just it. Those entry level things, that's where it's really good. The thing is, I have a Delta Gold, and with American Express, and I have a Delta Platinum with American Express, and now their Delta Gold no longer earns you points or whatever, and so I don't even use that one. And they're like, oh, you could go to the reserve, so I could get that to get the new bonus. But you have to know when they allow, because let's say you get Chase Sapphire and then you get a Chase Preferred. Well, sometimes they don't let you double dip in a certain number of years, so you might have to wait 2 years to get the other one to get the extra 60K or whatever points. So So something to think about. Let's see. I'm missing a bunch. Sorry. I'm sorry, people. Jennifer asks, 3 days in Paris. What would you do? What would I do? My first 3 days there, um, I would stay in Montmartre. That's where we always stay because there's some good restaurants up there. You've got the Sacre Coeur, the big white churches up there. And there's a nice little square right around there with some artists to check out. But that's more of a morning. Have breakfast, grab your croissants, some great patisseries. I mean, they're all over and bakeries all around Paris. But up there, it's a bit more residential. You up there. Let's say you get in the evening. You're going to eat up there, walk around, see all that. Next day, go to the Louvre, but not on a Tuesday. Remember, Louvre is closed on Tuesdays. Go to the Louvre, see that for the morning. You're not going to see everything because it's so big, so you don't have a lot of time. I'll do that in the morning, and then just make it a museum day. So you walk. Actually, no, we won't do a museum day. We'll do that. Louvre, start with that, then walk the Louvre, go through the park. The gardens are right in front, and then walk up the Champs-Élysées to the Arc de Triomphe. And you see that it's a great walk, and you go under. You don't try to cross the roundabout to get to the Arc de Triomphe. You go underneath and go up there, then come out, and then you actually walk down to. It's kind of a longer walk, but walk to the Eiffel Tower, and you have that, and then you can chill out underneath the Eiffel Tower. Well, not underneath it, but in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower. If you got your kids there, there's a little park right behind it. You can go play in. Our kids always play there when we go visit, and so that's a big walking day. So you have that. So the next day it's a bit more relaxed. Day 3, I would hit Musée d'Orsay. And then just walk along the same. You could take a boat tour, or if you had that long first day when you're at the Eiffel Tower, grab that boat tour from the Eiffel Tower. It'll take you down and show you a bunch of stuff. There you go. So, some tips to help you out. Kathy Walter said, "Mark told us to travel while we were in our 50s rather than waiting until retired." Yeah. That's one thing is, and I think this, and it's not just wait to people that wait to retire. I also think it's for people that have kids. They're like, oh, we're going to wait until our kids can appreciate the travel, until they're older. Look, how many of you have teenagers? Do they appreciate anything? No. You want to enjoy it when they're little, big, middle, whatever. And my parents and I, we travel together a lot in these multi-generational trips, and that's great because it bonds us closer together. And having these trips with our kids now, yeah, they don't remember when they're a baby, but you remember. I mean, I remember Liam learning how to walk in Paris. It's like, oh my God, that's where we learned to walk. He doesn't remember learning to walk. Do you? No, but we have that memory. And is what? Oh, and Liz is putting that in the multi-generational travel video that's coming out on Means to Travel this week. So hold on. I'll put that in there. I just sent her pictures of the kids. Oh, you sent it? Okay, Jocelyn sent the picture, Liz, so you have that. So there's that, but also when the kids are little, don't pass up that chance, because when they're under 2, they fly. They just sit on your lap. They basically fly for free. If you go international, you have to pay the taxes. So don't just show up at the airport. Make sure you're registered when the baby's going, because they have to have the manifest and stuff. But go. And the thing is people say, well, kids are bad on trips. Well, no, adults are bad on trips too. Like, they're bad on flights. But if you train your kids early about flying and traveling, they're just little travelers. Like, we get more comments about our kids' behavior on planes than we do in real life, like outside the real world. So I'm like, maybe we need to start flying more and get them back into being good mannered and get the craziness out of them. But so don't wait. Travel when you can, because you never know when a global pandemic will come and you won't be able to travel international for a couple of years. It happens. It happens. It really does. Franco, I'm sorry, man. I'm so frustrated. October 2020 would be my first trip, but thanks, Corona. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. R4 Feet Travelers. Oh, that's a cool name. I'm going to check that out. Your videos help us so much. We watch them all and we use your information. We travel on a small budget, small budget. We've been all over Latin America. Thank you. Yeah. And that's another thing with small budgets. There's places like Latin America where your money goes a long way. Like our trips to Nicaragua, El Salvador, Ecuador. I mean, we're getting 2 weeks there for the price of 1 week in Europe. So making the decisions on where you go can have a big impact with your budget and also help out your budget too. So that's awesome. Thank you, R4 Feet Travelers. I appreciate that. Oh, my thing froze up here. So now where is he? Where is he in the backyard, Ben?
He's not near the thingy. I don't know
why. Okay. Yeah, so for those of you wondering why I keep looking around, it's because they have a little mini earth mover. We're going around our house right now to do stuff, and they just put in fiber internet. And the guy that installed it yesterday said, I guarantee when they come and if they come and they do any yard work, they will break it. and you will not have internet. So that's why I started our live feed about 30 minutes early, because I'm like, well, at least we get something before it crashes out.
Oh shit! He just knocked over a tree.
He knocked over a tree?
Look at it.
Hold on, people. The big tree?
No, it's a little one. Then he ran over my tree.
Oh shit! He took a chunk out of it.
I know, he just spat right into my tree. I'm gonna go take a shower.
Yeah, so we had trees in our backyard, and the guy just ran over it. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Gotta love it. See, happy days. What was Mark Finley saying? Expose. Oh, yeah, talking about points. Yeah, not too much they can be devalued at any time. Just because you have 100,000 points right now, that doesn't mean they'll be worth anything in 6 months from now. That's true. There is inflation in points. I remember back in the day when 50,000 points or 50,000 miles would get you a trip to Europe any time of the year. Just you had to get one of those tickets that were saved for it. Now it could cost you 200,000, 250,000 to go to Europe on a free flight. So, yeah, they get devalued quite a bit. So, got to be careful with that. Let's see. Let's see. The road Jack was planned on January 2020, but delayed another year. Yeah. Let's see. Arian. Hey, man, just dropping in to say thank you for your videos. This has helped me a lot while traveling to Europe on a solo trip. Oh, that's cool to hear. I'm glad I could help out. I'm glad I can help everybody out. I really appreciate all the kind words and everything. It's wonderful to see and wonderful to hear. It really, that's one of the things that really inspire us to keep making the videos, because we know we're helping other travelers out. So sometimes it was funny, like on this last trip, I did a couple of videos where I was really like inspired to make something. Like we were in Western Massachusetts, and I was just planning on doing a Don'ts of Massachusetts video, and then an Eats of Massachusetts video, and just have those. But we're in the Berkshires, and I was seeing travel mistakes left and right. Like, I mean, it's, for those who know, the Berkshires are western. There's the mountain range in Western Massachusetts, and there's all these cute little villages and towns around there, and there's little things going on. It's just so cute. I mean, just cute as can be. Like Norman Rockwell, that's where his studio was. Okay. But you go around and there's never any parking. And so people like drive by and they skip a town because, there's no parking. I'm like, look, don't ever skip up any parking spot. If you think it's a little far, no, just park there and then walk in, because you're not going to find anything. And so I started seeing all these things. So I actually got inspired to make a Don'ts of the Berkshires. So that'll be coming out eventually. But that was one. It was like a day where we're just, a day or two. Well, actually, we were there 3 days. So 3 days we were in there. And I'm just using my phone filming. So I didn't use the tripod. I just like me, with my gimbal and my phone doing it, because it's like it's kind of inspired for that. And then we were in West Virginia, and in West Virginia we did we were in the New River Gorge National Park, and they're some of the best zip lining in the entire United States is there, like serious, crazy, awesome ones. But also you do whitewater rafting there, and it was just such a good time, but a good family time with adventure travel and doing things and activity-based travel. And I'm like, man, this place is awesome. I can see why West Virginia is getting more and more popular for travelers, especially New River Gorge. And I was like, I got to make a video. So it was like, we talked about the rafting, we talked about the zip line, we talked about the food that was there. So it was good because I see that there's places that there's just not a lot of information on, or not a lot of good information on. Like we were in Rwanda, there was nothing really decent about helping people to go to Rwanda. So we made videos for that. The Berkshires, there's a few things out there, but it's not geared towards helping normal people go travel there. So it's like, we got to do this. And the West Virginia one, I'm like, we put out a West Virginia video a couple months ago, and it's got 150,000 views. And I'm just like, cool. Like, that's kind of cool. That's done really well. And it shows that people want to go there and they want to visit, but there's not a lot of information out there. So let's help out these places. And so that's why I've done some of these small town videos as well. I mean, they don't get a lot of views, but for people that are actually going to go there, it can be helpful. So I'm glad that we can help out people with your travels, man. And now the guy he's got the thing right by the house. So I'm like, worried because it's a hill. I'm just worried he's going to crash into the house because the guy's obviously not paying attention. Kale says, your don't videos are my favorite. Yes, I'm glad I can do those for you, and I try to keep them fun. So it's the do's and don'ts, but yes, you got to call it the don'ts because people don't want to see the don'ts, or the do's. They want to see the don'ts. So we do that. Means to travel. This is a Liz. Go to her channel. Go subscribe. That's where you're going to see our video on multi-generational travel. We helped out. I've always wanted to go to the New River Gorge after seeing the Travel Scope episode about it before it became a national park. Yeah. Travel Scope. Yeah. Joseph Rosendo's got great stuff.
He's my man.
He's Jocelyn's man.
He's my hero.
Yeah, you.
I do not like what he did to the front yard.
What did you do? I have to.
Finish that and then
I'll look at it later. Yes, as Kathy says, small towns are unfound treasures. Scorpio Sue, hey Sue. We got a great hotel in Charleston, West Virginia, really good price. Pretty new city. New River Gorge is awesome. Run, don't walk. Yeah, it's getting more and more popular. We were there, and people were like loving it. And they're like, but we couldn't get a place to stay for 2 weeks. I'm like, wow, it was booked out. David, I see I missed your super chat. Well, see on this, it doesn't show me the stickers because they give you a warning. It doesn't show me, so I have to go through. So I apologize. So Sean Pierce, thank you very much for the super sticker and the super chat. I appreciate it. I hope it's a cute sticker. I'm sorry I can't see it. David, there it is. Sorry, David. Are there any flight hotel refunds you are still waiting for since last year? I've been waiting for 13 months for a flight refund booked from Cheapo Air. No, I got everything back pretty much within 6 weeks. We flew Delta all the time, and so they got it back. We took a bunch of e-credit at first, and then it got to be like, look, I do not need this much e-credit. The cash would be more helpful, and then the cash was back within like a week or two. Hotel stuff, we got your money back for pretty much everything. So that wasn't too bad, but I'm not still waiting out. Cheapo Air, you are not the only person to bring this up, by the way, David, with Cheapo Air. So you are not alone, and that sucks for a lot of people because that's BS. So let's see. Chris Bates, good to see you on here. So Chris, we witnessed one guy and his fan. Hold on, what? What, babe? Hold on. We'll have a little pause for a second here because my wife just yelled at me for something. Hold on. What's up, babe? Sorry. I don't even know where the line went for the internet because we got fiber in and who knows. Anyway, Chris Betts says we witnessed one guy and his family refused to wear a mask on a ferry. 15 minutes of yelling and someone gave him 3 masks. The ferry bus said, "Too late, we're leaving without you." Yeah, I mean that's the thing that's going to happen, and they have the right to do that. So it doesn't matter what you think and what you want to stand for. You don't want to be banned from services, so be careful with that. Imran, what are the best destinations of Europe for Christmas and New Year's? Before Christmas, to go see the Christmas markets and stuff, I would say places like Germany and Austria are the best for Christmas markets. New Year's, bigger city, Prague, Paris, London, those are really fun for New Year's. So that would be my thing for there. Matt Healer of Windhurst, good to have you on for a bit. Sorry you had to pop off. So Rob from TripXDC has a good point going back to our talk on the points. Credit card points are a lot less exciting when you think of them as a weird, it's restrictive currency. Nobody considers travel free if you earn extra money in dollars and spend that on the travel. Yeah. So it's just like, it's not as cool. I can understand, my friend. Oh no. Lori Sims, I was checking out my flight last night, and it looks like Aer Lingus has canceled my departing flight from LAX. New ticket on hold with Lufthansa United. Rome to LAX home. Oh, no. That sucks, Lori. I'm sorry. So Phantom of Darkness, is paying for a ticket worth it Though if you travel internationally from America, well, yeah, because you're going to go travel. I feel at least a week is necessary to spend in a new country for your first time to get value from your ticket. Oh, that way, yes. Yeah, I agree. I know for me, I don't like any. For me, it's also a time of the flight thing. But if I'm going to go to Europe, I need at least 10 days. So I mean, I'll go for a week sometimes, but that'll be a very targeted thing. Like I'm going with my mom. We're going to go to France, so we're doing Colmar and Strasbourg, which is where you have our ancestors are from. So it's like a targeted thing, and I have to work, so I can't do it. But I feel like from a week on, it makes it worthwhile for me. So I understand what you're saying. Let's see. Yeah, Chris Bates hang out at Luxembourg Gardens after the Orsay. Yeah. Chris Bates is on a roll here. Best advice ever, just go. Don't wait. Bia, I will tell Jocelyn you said hi. She's watching the guy work out there. Excuse me. So Jeff said, just visited Quebec City. Watch your video first. Wow, that's an old one too. The city was pretty empty as the border had just opened. No pushy crowds. That's cool. Yeah, no, Quebec City is my favorite city to visit in Canada, and I have a video on the most European cities in the U.S. And I was like, well, Quebec City is so close. I threw it in as a bonus one, but I filmed it during COVID, so I'm like, well, I'm not going to put that out until after Canada's back open again in case people want to head up there. So, but yeah, Quebec City is awesome. Great food as well. Get the poutine. You will not. If you're not sure what poutine is, it's fries, cheese curds, and then they put gravy on top, and they might have bacon bits or might have pulled pork or some other meat on top, or just the gravy and the cheese. Oh, so good. So good. And no, it's not like chili cheese fries. It's beyond that. It's elevated to another level of existence and a new plane of amazingness. Let's see. Oh, yes. As Scorpio Sue said, please hit that like button. It does make a difference. You may not think it does, but for your YouTubers and for their algorithm stuff, it does make a difference showing that people like it. So it's getting interactions. So that does help out and shows that other people could watch. Because right now travel videos are not getting watched. We've seen since the beginning of July when travel restrictions kind of started coming back and travel warriors have come back, viewership has tanked, and as people aren't watching travel videos, YouTube doesn't show them travel videos. That's why every week I get comments from people, oh, it's great to see you making videos again. I'm like, we've never stopped. We've actually had a video every Wednesday and Saturday since June of 2014. And we've been doing this since 2012. Like, we've never stopped, and we keep making videos, but people don't see it in their feeds. That's why if you look on your YouTube, all your subscriptions, they don't show you all the new videos from your subscriptions. They show you the ones that you watched recently. That's why sometimes you seem to get in a YouTube hole and you keep showing the same kind of stuff. Go through your subscriptions and just click on them and see some other. There you go, Liam. And then you can see some new stuff. So something to think about. Bruno J says, what sites do you get good deals on travel? There's a lot of different sites that can give you good deals. Scott's Cheap Tickets, Travel Zoo, they're good. Kayak and Skyscan are two that we use to judge prices for flights to see what we're going to buy. And a lot of times what we'll do with those is we'll find a deal on there, and then we'll go to the actual airline or we'll go to the actual hotel and see if they'll match it. Because some will, or some will have that same deal on there. And then I buy directly from from Delta or from Holiday Inn or whatever, because then if there's any issues, Delta can just give me credit. Whereas if I go with somebody else, that's a third party, and Delta is not the one that has your money, so they can't help you out. So there is that. Let's see. So Barry Reed says, we're flying to Prague in December, flying Air France Premium Economy. Is it worth the extra money? So Air France's Premium Economy, I have not flown in Air France's Premium Economy. I have flown in their normal economy, and it was fine. It wasn't as comfortable as the Delta version, but it was fine. Depends how much more money it is, Barry. That's on you and how many people you have going. So that would be my thing for there. Mike M was in Lucerne. Yes, Lucerne is my favorite place in Switzerland. If you get a chance to go there, go. Let's see. Liam's shooting balloons at me. So Frosty Man 52 says, any tips for Poland in December? Prepare to be cold. Bring lots of layers. Don't expect to be super hot anywhere you go. Otherwise, it's the same travel stuff I have from before. And that's the thing is a lot of the like we make our videos very much, travel like season neutral. So it's like, look, wherever you're going to go, these things you're going to enjoy. That's why our videos still work, whether you're traveling in a pandemic or you're traveling in the winter or the summer or whatever, because they're basic don'ts that really do help out. So you'll be fine. Let's see. Whoa.
Ooh, that's sad.
I'm sorry if I missed anybody's thing. I just jumped about 400 posts. So here's a super chat I missed. I apologize. Runaway Tech Gal. My ancestor from Colmar, Strasbourg, now sings. We could be cousins. That's exactly where all our people are from, too, from that side of the family. That's cool. Yeah, we're going to Colmar, Strasbourg, and the Alsace regions together. That's awesome. See, you might find family on the internet. It's not just 23andMe where it finds you new family members. It's right here. Let's see. Frank Nitty. Mark, I wanted to thank you and Jocelyn for your advice on traveling with her infant. She ate through 2 flights and slept through 2 and was perfect. Little jet setter now. Yes, that's the way to go. And now that she's getting used to it, she'll be fine. So that's awesome. I'm so glad you got that. Thanks, Liam. That's awesome. And then they can turn into crazy, 10-year-olds like Liam later on. So David Kovac actually has a good question. What would you recommend for people outside the U.S. where credit cards with those reward systems are not available? With those ones, then I would stick with the cheap tickets, the last minute. Europeans have a lot of really good last minute travel sites, so that could be something to look at for you. Jose Sands, what's your number one must do of Amsterdam? The wife and I are visiting in October. I would say book your Anne Frank house now because they have limited capacity of time tickets. So buy that now. The Rijksmuseum, I love that. And doing a canal tour, like just getting on a canal boat and going around. Those are my favorite things to do. And then going out of town and visiting cities like Haarlem, Utrecht, and Leiden. They're all like 20 minutes away on a local train. You could actually stay in Utrecht and just go into Amsterdam for the day, 20 minutes away. Save yourself a ton of cash too and not deal with as many crazy tourists. So... R4 Feet Travels. Guys, go to Ecuador. It's small and amazing. Love the coast. There's also Colombia is amazing, worth a trip for sure. The people are unreal. I agree. We loved Ecuador. We have a lot of friends that are homeschool and world schooling. We always recommend, like, look, when you got your ecology tour or your ecology class, I think I was waiting to hit you with that balloon. That is the place to go and teach them because it's so many biomes there. It's just incredible. Colombia is probably our spring break trip next year. So that was going to be our like New Year's trip last year, but no, not last year, this year coming up, but we don't feel comfortable yet to do that. So we're probably going to, who knows, we might actually do it. We'll see how things are, but that's one of the ones that are coming up. Let's see. Hunter Hans, I'm going to Miami next month. Am I crazy? Because I'm used to humid hot weather. Okay. If you're used to humid hot weather, you'll be okay. But yeah, I mean, I was there in late May, and I'm like, oh, it's hot, it's humid. But I'm not. I'm more built for Arctic adventure than I am for South Beach adventure. So there is that. Oh yes, HG Man, we're in West Virginia. Don't forget to see Mothman. It's right. The Mothman Museum is right on the border with Ohio. It's in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. We were actually there yesterday. No, not yesterday. The day before. We were there on Thursday. We went to the museum. It's a cute little town too. Some fun little shops you can buy. And if you're just driving through, pull up the highway and go see it. West Virginia actually has really cool bridges as well. Just another little tip.
That's a really good museum.
Yeah, Liam just said it's a really good museum for Mothman. So there is that. And as they'll tell you, the world's only Mothman museum. So Ella is heading to Barcelona. Any tips? Okay, one, I was talking about this earlier before. Go to the El Born district and go to a cava bar. Cava is the sparkly wine of Spain. And you're going to have pinchos. It's tapas, in Spain, but pinchos is what you eat in Barcelona. It's like a piece of bread and then like different stuff on top, tons of options, but lots of things there. Do that. If you're walking on La Rambla, the Las Ramblas or whatever, the main like pedestrian street down, you go to the Columbus Memorial or column there. Pay attention. I watch people get pickpocketed there all the time. Barcelona is the pickpocketing capital of Europe. Have a heads up for that. Sagrada Familia, just buy your tickets online so you already have it, so you have to wait in line. Or you'll probably still wait in line, but to that's nice. Let's see. The beaches, you can just enjoy some time on the beach and drink the sangria made with cava. Now, that's some good stuff. So I hope that helps you. Give you a few tips, my friend. Sorry, it's doing the jump thing. Liam, that is really
I
annoying.
didn't try.
He's overfilling the balloons and popping my eardrums. So let's see. That was a pretty cool one, man. That was a pretty cool one. Oh, video trips in Venice. Oh, I wish I could have a Spritz Aperol with you, my friend.
Oh my gosh, I found it.
Dr. Angela asks, did you feel visiting Quito was safe? Yeah, I was fine with Quito. If you're going to go to the Mary Angel up on the hill, get the taxi up to the top and a taxi back down. Do not try to walk up there. It's not a super nice neighborhood, but we stayed downtown. It was okay. I mean, obviously you need to take precautions, but we felt okay. We're there with our kids. I need to put out our Dunce of Quito video so you have some more information. Let's see. So Jose Luis Garcia Clements. Hi, Mark. I appreciate your comments yesterday on whether or not we should include Versailles in our 4-day itinerary. I'm just afraid if we do that, we will miss out on things in Paris. Further comments. No, don't. If you have 4 full days, you've got your Louvre and walking around to see the stuff like Louvre to Eiffel Tower kind of stuff. Don't waste your time going up the Eiffel Tower, okay? Just don't waste your time for that. Just go there. You can see it from the park, and when you're by the Eiffel Tower, take the boat to bring you back to have a nice view. You can have a really impactful day if you start early. And remember, Tuesday, the Louvre is closed. You can have that. Another day to explore, then do a day trip to Versailles. And with Versailles, book your tickets ahead of time. They should have those. You can go early in the morning on the RER, go see it. You can be back in the afternoon, have late afternoon, evening in Paris. And that's just 3 or 4 days. So you can do it. If you don't want to, you're not going to miss out by not doing it. Well, you'll miss out, but you always can come back. But, I would play it by ear. I would save it for your 4th full day and then decide that day, because you don't necessarily have to go and decide before you go, though you might book your stuff, but something to kind of think about. Hans Christensen, is Colombia safe? It's not the 1980s, so it's not like it was back then. You still have to take precautions, but it's a lot better than it was for sure. Let's see. Bia, what would you recommend for our honeymoon? Eastern Europe or South America? We want to go somewhere we've never been yet. Because you've been to Western Europe, I would probably go with South America because it's so different. It's going to be a much more pared down. You don't have as many tourists. It's much more outdoor activity stuff. It's much more roughing it kind of thing. So that's those things. If you're going to South America, Eastern Europe, you have some cool stuff you could do there too. Bia, you're a member. You're on our superheroes thing. Write to Jocelyn and we'll give you a little more insight into which ones might work best for you too. Dead chat like Meth Lab.
What?
Nothing. I'm just chucking at some of these things. Marcus K. We're traveling to Nice, France next year. Any tips on visiting surrounding cities? Okay, so there's the train lines will take anywhere you want to go. You'd be surprised how many places are a day trip away. Like Ox is a day trip away. Avignon is a day trip away. You can go to Cannes. You can go there for a day trip. Expensive day trip, but you can do that. I would bring some water shoes if you want to go to the beaches at Nice, because it's a rocky beach. If you want a sand beach, you can go down to Cannes and go there. They have a sand beach there, a little bit oilier water, but you can do that. Yes, ma'am.
Hold this.
Okay.
And point the very tip at me. No, like on this side. Yeah.
Let it go.
Yes. Dang it!
That didn't quite work, buddy. Sorry.
I bent it too much.
It's okay. Haley, which of the 7 wonders have you seen? The new or the old? There's 2 different ones out there. Let's see. Thanks a lot. Now I'm going to buy a portion of chips. Go for it, my friend. Go for it. Davis, how long does it take to get a PCR test in African countries? I honestly don't know. If someone has information on that, please share so we can help out. Oh man, he's going crazy with that thing. New Zealand, yes, New Zealand is. So on our superheroes, we had a discussion recently. One of the posts was about where are your 3 top places you want to go, or your bucket list places that you haven't gone to yet. For me, it was Israel, Egypt, and New Zealand. So those are 3 places I really want to get to. And 3 places that were all canceled because of COVID. So, yeah. So hope we're going to get there. Oh, wait, sorry. No, Shrian, there it is. Hold on. I'll get to these. Shrian Sarang. Hey, Mark, what do you recommend during these times? B&Bs or hotels? honestly, right now is crazy. Everybody's about cleaning and being extra cleany safe. That's kind of gone away for all. Yes.
Is he gone?
Oh no, he's still going.
Okay.
So yeah. I think for us, our before we were like, oh, 3 days or more, we're gonna get a B&B. But now they with the cleaning costs and all those things, they've kind of added onto it. It's really added a lot into the price. At the end, you find these things out because the price they give you the per day thing is what you actually pay. It's like resort fees, like $35 a day. You're like, what? So actual B&Bs are different. Actual B&Bs are still a great thing.
I think people should say
Oh.
an actual B&B.
Yeah, so instead of Airbnb, yeah, sorry. So actual B&Bs or hotels, I find in smaller to medium-sized cities, B&Bs work very well because you get a lot more insight because the people are actually living there and they actually give you the information of what you need to do and you get a good breakfast. That's really nice. Hotels, if it's a bigger city, I don't know if there's a lot of B&B options. So I go more hotels for the big cities. So that's something there. So yeah, sorry, restate the question so I get it right. I apologize. Runaway Tech Gal, Costa Rica in February. Nice, great time. 10 days will be good. Oh, yeah. Guanacaste, so we intend to rent a 4x4 and drive versus taking the puddle jumpers and he must sees. Well, if you can get down, go to Arenal, the Arenal volcano and do the hanging bridges there, do the zip line and all that kind of stuff. Do all that there. That's really great to do. That would be my recommendation. Liam, why don't you bring that to me and I can pour it for you. Did you get it? It's okay. Cereal time. Let's see. And do that. One thing I would say is when you go there, you can get all the sunblock you want there, but it's really overpriced and under good, I felt. So I would pick up actually because the sunblock works for a while. Look at the time frame it has. Until it goes bad or whatever. And see if you can pick them up before the end of the summer, like to get that 50, because when you're on the beach. Also, I would recommend doing a surfing class. I did a surfing class. Big fat me did surfing class there, and I could do that. And they have a place there you can do for learning that. And it's always nice to go and learn something new when you travel. Also, there's a bunch of food tours up there. So look where you're going to be staying and see what food tours are around. You can have a day where they'll take you to a farm and you'll see how the food's made, and then you actually make it and cook it and eat it. And that was actually a fun thing we did when we were there as well. So something to think about. Also, if you're up in Guanacaste, you could look into going up into to Nicaragua, go see Lake Nicaragua, or just going to San Juan del Sur, which is a big surf spot up there. Hold on, I gotta help Liam out here. Liam, you come talk to these people for a little bit, and I'll get your milk ready. So Liam's gonna step in for you for a little bit.
Don't expect anything.
Don't expect anything. Well, come here, just talk for a little bit. Just say hi. I'm Liam. Tell me where you travel, what you like.
Nope.
Dude, go in there.
Why?
Say hi.
Hi. 254 people.
There you go. Do you know where the spoons are?
Over there.
So you can talk to them. What's your favorite place to travel to?
My favorite place to travel to is probably somewhere in the Caribbean.
Do you go anywhere in the world, man? Where would it be?
Israel.
Israel? Also good.
Finally got an answer for that.
There you go. All right, you're up, buddy. So there you go. Liam sitting in for me. See, you can't see a difference. I can't tell who's cuter. Is it me or him? I mean, I don't know. It's a close one. It is a close one. Let's see. I missed the super chat somewhere. Oh, Sue, it was Sue. I'm sorry, Sue. First time to Rome for a week, get everything out of Rome, or do some day trips too, thinking Bologna 2.5-hour train right away. You do have time for a day trip from Rome with a full week there. Yeah, you could do that for sure. And Bologna is a good day trip town because there's stuff to see, but not a ton of stuff to see. And the train station, it's an easy walk. Stop and get spaghetti bolognese. That's where it's from. And yes, you can have some mortadella, which is the fancy word for bologna. It's actually from there. You can have that as an appetizer. Seriously, What? Just bologna? I had bologna for an appetizer, then spaghetti bolognese or tagliatelle with bolognese sauce. Had that when you're there. What's cool is they also have their own leaning towers there. They're not as cool, but they have their own leaning towers there. But when you go to Bologna, the cathedral there has one of the coolest like depictions of the gates to hell ever. Spend the euro to light it up. It's worth it. You can't take pictures inside. Also, if you're going to do it as a day trip, keep your pack stuff minimal because the times I've gone to Bologna, I couldn't take my packs into the church. So a day trip's a good way to do it, Sue. But yeah, that's really cool. I like Bologna. You can see all the red stone that's there where all the buildings are. But yes, that's a good day trip, 2.5 hour ride. But it's worth leaving in the morning, spend the day there, have lunch, have a dinner, take an evening train back, book your trips beforehand so you have it all kind of taken care of. There's a few museums there as well. So I hope that helps out. Oh, we have a new member. Costa's World of Music Memories. Thank you very much for becoming a member. I don't know where the member thing is. There it is. So Costa's World of Music Memories on the community tab on YouTube. Now that you remember it, you'll show up. You can click on members only posts. Click on there and you'll see a post saying, hey, if you want to join our superheroes group on Facebook, click here. And then you go there and then you just request membership and you'll be joined up and we'll get you in there so you can join all the other superheroes talking about travel and other fun stuff. Full of Squads. Would you do a video for Utah? Yes. We were going to head back to the West again this summer, but then we ended up having friends out East. So we ended up going out East. But yes, Utah is definitely on the table. Don't you worry about that. Frank, I understand, man. It's a coin flip who's cuter, me or Liam. I mean, I don't know how Jocelyn chooses who she gives a kiss to at bedtime last at night. Like, who does she love more? I mean, it's tough. I feel sorry for her. She has the two cutest little guys, fuzzy people. I guess you're not really fuzzy. You're just a little. I'm fuzzy. There you go. Michael, traveling world. I remember when I went to have pizza in Pisa. Yeah, I remember when Jocelyn and I went to Pisa for the first time together. Caleb had asked, "Could you guys have pizza in Pisa for us?" So we had pizza in Pisa, which is the most rip-off, worst pizza I've ever had in Italy, right by the tower. And so I got a picture of us with that for him. So Rodrigo, yes, we would consider visiting Central Mexico. My dad worked all throughout Central Mexico for years. He took me on one of his bigger trips down there right before I finished high school. Would love to get back. I know we usually focus more on tourist destinations. I know our next Mexico trip is Mexico City. You didn't hear that. But we got that going on. So other fun stuff. Apex Turnip Travel Chat. Any idea when mainland China opens the tours again? I have no idea. Like getting information for Asian travel and getting back there is difficult. I have a buddy of mine who's been in Mexico for a while and he wants to get back to Thailand. He's like, look, once they open up again, he's like, I got to get back home. He's like, I've been in Mexico for a year and a half. And he's like, I want to get back to Thailand where my family is. And so, yeah, he's waiting to get back because he's not Thai. He's a U.S. citizen. So, that. Frank Limbe, Mark, Madrid or Lisbon? Man, if you like museums, I would go Madrid. Nightlife, they're pretty close. If you want beaches, Lisbon. If you're worried about the language barrier, Lisbon has more English speakers, I find, than Madrid. You really can't go wrong. It's kind of another one of those coin flip things. I know I'm looking to take student. Liam says Lisbon, but he was actually born there, so there's that. See here, let's hit the road check. Oh, wait, no. France, do we plan on going on a trip to the Philippines? Yes. One of the churches we go to occasionally, they do actually mission trips there. So we're thinking about going on a mission trip to help do stuff down there, over there, when they get back doing that again. Let's see. Carmen Muncher, yes, you did hear that. I don't want to talk about it too loud because a certain somebody's in the other room and he'd get pretty excited, but we don't have it set yet. So, but that is on the table for a possible. Hi, Liam.
Oh, wait.
It's not. I'm talking about your mom. It's not you. It's not you. It's not you.
No, you're lying.
What?
Yep, you're lying.
I don't know what you're talking about. Tosh T, the best comment adder on the Professor Walter channel. helping out so many people with so much great advice. If you go to our Professor Walter's channel, you don't even have to watch my videos. Just go down to Tasha's comments. They're all super helpful. I can't say thanks enough to Tosh for all the extra effort put in to help out with the stuff. Thank you so much. But Tasha's question: watching Olympics, have a sports question. Are you and the fam into live sports? While in Lisbon, did you watch La Liga? We didn't watch La Liga. We watched the Superliga. Did you often mention English girlfriend, take you to the English Premier League? So my sporting things is actually, if you want to have a good time with cultures when you're traveling around, go to a sports match because you will see craziness of all kinds. I mean, think about it. Like I had the English girl when she visited me in the U.S. We went to a baseball game. Unfortunately, when we were in Chicago, the Cubs weren't in, so we couldn't go to Wrigley. So we went to Comiskey and we saw the White Sox play. And I still remember we're sitting in the bleachers, and the guys around us notice her accent. They're like, "Oh, explain her the infield fly rule." I'm like, it's like this random rule, and I'm like, "No, I don't want to." And then it happened right like the next play, and I'm like, "Okay, this is what it was," but it was kind of funny. But when I was there, I went to some cricket matches, and that was kind of to see. But the coolest thing I went to was when I studied abroad in Australia when I was in high school, and we went to an Aussie rules football game in Adelaide. It was like the biggest win like ever in Australian rules football. It was insane scores. Like they sent me a T-shirt afterwards because they made T-shirts about it because it was such a destruction. But that was an awesome game to go watch. I still remember I was in a high school in Australia and they had sport. You pick your sports for a thing, and I'm like, "What's ring ball?" And they're like, "Oh, that's a girls' sport like basketball, but you stand around and just pass the ball." I'm like, "Oh, I want to play that." And all the boys are like, "Wait, why does he get to play ring ball?" I'm like, "Because we don't have that in America." So it's kind of fun. When I was in Germany, I followed the Bundesliga a lot. Went to a lot of Hertha Berlin games, a lot of Energie Cottbus, small town that made it in the first division in Germany. I went to some Borussia Dortmund games when we were there. When I was in Portugal, I went to a lot of Benfica games. Went to a few Portugal European qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers. What else? Went to some sporting games as well for my sporting fans. So there's all kinds of good stuff. Andy Lee, hey Mark, are you teaching on campus in the fall? Yes, I am. We'll be teaching with masks on, but we'll be back in person. So we'll be there. Julioso, congrats on your Portuguese. I'm always impressed when you pronounce certain words. Thank you very much. I will make sure I bring that up to all my Brazilian Portuguese friends next time they make fun of me. I appreciate that. Yeah, Leroy tell you, it'll always be Comiskey Park. It is Comiskey Park. I don't even know what the other word is. I will not say that. Liam is watching us on YouTube right now. He's finding it hilarious. He's on his Switch watching it, so that's funny.
I'm trying to connect to live chat.
Okay. So Carmen Munter asks, thank you. Oh, and Carmen, thank you very much for the super chat. It means the world to us. What are your favorite small English towns outside of London within an hour of London? Ooh, can we just make it a little bit farther? But like day trip stuff for London, that was one of the things I was filming. I had the script to film for London last year that got canceled. So I got to think that. So Cambridge is probably the best day trip. You have that. You can go to Oxford as well, but I would go Cambridge over Oxford for the day trip. Hampton Court to go see the old huge palace outside is also really cool to see. You can go to Windsor to see the Windsor Palace. You can do that. If you want to go a bit farther, I would recommend going to Bath. And there's a lot of day trips that will take you to Stonehenge and Bath for the day. It's like a 2.5 hour drive, but you go from London, you hit Stonehenge, you spend a couple hours there, and then you go to Bath, spend the afternoon, early evening in Bath, and they come back. I would do that. If you have your own car, you can drive out to it. You can take public transportation to Bath, no problem. So that would be my recommendation, Carmen. So I hope that helps out, and thank you very much for the super chat. Let's see.
How many seconds are they behind when you're watching?
The delay?
Yeah.
Probably like 5 to 30 seconds. So, Mr. Noodle Girl, planning a 3-month trip around Europe next spring. Any small towns you recommend worthwhile breaks from big cities, from Lisbon to Budapest? So, Lisbon, the easiest day trip is Sintra, where they have the like Disneyland looking castles is there. Evora is a little bit farther day trip, but there's a train and buses that go there. You can see there's a bone chapel there, and it's eat really good Alentejo food. You have that. If you're going from there to Madrid, day trips from Madrid, Segovia to see the aqueduct and the castle there is really good. Toledo is the former capital of Spain and still see the Catholic Church. That would be a good one there. Barcelona, not a lot really. There's some day trips, but not like knock your socks off one. If you're going over Paris day trips, you got Versailles, the Palace of Versailles, Fontainebleau Palace, which was the Versailles before Versailles. That's some good day trips there. Going over, if you're looking, let's see, you stop in Amsterdam, good day trips would be Hanover, sorry, not Hanover, Haarlem and Utrecht are my two favorite right there. Leiden's also another easy one to do. Going across Berlin, you're going to go to Potsdam for that. Then you head down to Prague. Prague, you can go to Karlstein to see the castle, but I would just enjoy Prague. And then when you're heading down to Vienna, you can stop in what's the name of the town? They have Brno, Brno in southern Czech Republic. You can see the mummies there and hop back on the train, go to Vienna. Vienna, day trip or stay longer. Bratislava is like an hour away. And then you're in Budapest. And there you go. So hope that helped. A lot of information really quickly. Travel Nick P says, hey, Nick, hope you're doing well. Nick, I love your logo. Your logo is awesome. That new logo you came up with is really cool, dude. You need to get some shirts. Get that on Teespring. Oh, Chris Voris. Hey, Mark, I'm flying into Lisbon in 2 hours and on to Portugal and the coast this week. Santiago. Oh, dude, it's awesome. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. I'm jealous. I don't know if pimentos de padron are available right now, but it's in season. But when you're in Santiago, get those. Get those peppers. Are really good. Porto, get a francesinha. It just you'll see them. They'll be around. You'll have a good time. Oh, I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. The Cozy Fox. So happy to catch you live. I binge watch you on my TV. Love your channel. Thank you. That's so nice of you. I appreciate that. And now that you're on, I'm gonna have to hop off. I got about 7 minutes. I got to get off because Caleb's coming home, and then we have. My nephew has his second birthday, so we are heading over to spend his birthday with him. So we're going over for a little family birthday party. So let's get some questions in. I'll try to do some rapid fire answers to get us going to finish this off. Oh, I just got a message. Thank you, Mark Finley, for that. I appreciate it. And we have our new patron. We have a new patron that just signed up. Thank you very much. Also, our patrons, there's if you go to patreon.com/WaltersWorld, you can go there and become members. And it has the same link. You go find the superheroes of Walter's World, and you can request your stuff there. So yeah. Excuse me. Laura Vick. Hi, Mark. Traveling international for my first trip to Germany in September. Any tips for newbie travelers? Okay. Do your research, watch the videos that we have of the place you're going to go, but be open to try new things. Don't take all the advice you see online as the end all be all. You need to have your own exploring and your own adventure. Okay. I would say, let's see, make sure you have data on your phone. Get the international data package. You may think, I'm just going to use Wi-Fi calling. No, don't think you're going to get Wi-Fi all the time. Okay. So you want to have it. So get your data package lined up because you don't want to have surprise roaming when you're abroad. That's super, super, super expensive. Another thing I would look at, tell your banks you're going to be going so they don't cancel your cards. Okay, when you're abroad, and they're like, hey, what is this doing in Germany? Have a rough itinerary of what you want to do, but be flexible. Like, okay, the first day we're going to go to this museum and this museum. The second day we're going to do this and this. But have some flexibility in there because it might turn out you meet some people and you want to go do something else. So just have like a rough idea. Don't have every single minute planned, but have a rough idea of like our morning routine and our afternoon routine. So you have that. So I hope that can help you get going. And that's kind of what we do in all our travels. So here we go. Max, my husband and I are 32-year-old newlyweds. Congratulations, you lovebirds. We plan on traveling with our future kids someday, but are there any must-see destinations that are easy to do pre-kids, pre-family? We don't drink, FYI. So if you're doing that, I would do more of the adventure stuff because as you get older, it hurts more. So like we did whitewater rafting and zip lining, and Liam couldn't go, so I had to stay behind and be with him. So some of the adventure stuff, like if you go to Interlaken in Switzerland, they have a lot of adventure tourism, so that's kind of cool. Any kind of adult playground area like Las Vegas, I would recommend as adults, not with kids. But probably what's going to be best for you is keep a decent relationship with the grandparents so they'll come and watch the kids so you can go and do things. Because some places like Turks and Caicos, it's really, there's not a ton of stuff to do and it's really expensive. And with kids, some people like to go to the, I think Beaches Resort with their kids and do that. But I think that's better for a couples kind of thing, so you can enjoy that. And even if you don't have to drink for that either. If you're gonna need like hiking the Inca Trail, get that done now. Those things they make it a bit better. So I hope that helps a little bit with some ideas. Runaway Tech Gal is a new YouTube member. Thank you. Welcome to the team. Don't forget to go to the community tab and go through there and look for the members only stuff. And we'll get you in there. So cool. Welcome. I love having more members, having more people, so we can have, because we actually do members only lives. July got crazy for now, but in August we'll have a members only live. We might have a couple member only live, so we'll do that so we get some more time together, because July was crazy for us. Oh my goodness, we have another new member, Matthew Dovidas. Matthew Dovidas, is your family from Lithuania? Because I knew a lot of Dovidas when I was there. But Matthew, same thing to you. Go to that community tab, look in there, you'll see the thing, and to help the superheroes. And we'll announce the members only live feeds and the other things coming up. So we'll have that. Cool. So welcome everybody. And if you want that little S thing, the little shield, I'm not sure what it stands for, because it's for members, so that's what their members on there for. Catriona, hey Mark, hello. When do you think America will open to the UK? We're hoping to get to Memphis next year. I think by next year it should be open. I don't know what's going on now. I mean, it's confusing, but I would hope by next year you should be okay. And I'll have another Memphis video out. The don'ts of Memphis will be out by then as well. So I'm working on that one too. Let's see. So 49ers United. My recommendation, so going to Washington, D.C., what sites are worth checking out and that may not be considered the most popular? So what I would do is look up Trip Hacks DC. Okay, my buddy Rob does that. Trip Hacks DC. My buddy Rob runs that site, and he has everything you'd ever want to know about DC, from the most popular places to least popular places, what to look out for with all the COVID changes. Just go sign up with him. He'll help you out, and he can give you tons and tons of information, and he does really good tours as well. So. Oh my good, we have another one. And Catriona, thank you very much for becoming a member as well. That's awesome. Again, go to the community tab, find a thing, go in there. That is awesome. Thank you so much. That's right. Mark Finley, I forgot, from Superman. The S stands for hope. So the Cozy Traveler says, I don't see a spot to join here. So the Cozy Fox, it depends where you live, because memberships are not available in every country, in every region, in every state. So that's one of the things that happens. So there is that. Okay. Yeah, let's hit the road, Jack. I just recently learned about the Senate subway. Yeah, there's actually a subway line that just takes the students. Look it up on YouTube. You'll see videos of the Senate subway that takes people around. Okay. Wait, the Cozy Fox, you're in New York? There should be a join button down below. Gotta love it. All right. Oh, well, Caleb has just got back from his night away at a friend's house, and we've got a birthday party to go to, so I'm going to sign off. I just want to say thank you to everybody for all your support. All the new members, welcome. All the super chats, thank you. It really does make a difference to help us keep making honest travel videos, so we don't have to shill as many products on here that we don't believe in. Because one thing is we do sponsor stuff, or we do have sponsors on here. They're products we use and we actually believe are good. So don't worry if you see them on there, but this makes it easier for us to do that, so I don't have to be like, yes, this is the best type of burnt toast in the world. Get ready. So we can kind of hopefully stay away from that. Anyway, I wish you all the best. Have a great day. Happy travels, everybody. Bye.